I just got back from an 11-day trip with 3 strangers in Costa Rica. I'm back in my van in Wyoming and yeah, it's freaking cold. Today I think it'd be fun to talk about why the hell I live this lifestyle and why I live in my van and don't pay rent. But first, here's a proper introduction. I live in my 1985 Volkswagen Vanagon. My name is Sebastian Stoneham and I like to travel. I like to travel a lot. Now, I think there's a common misconception on van lifers or nomads or just people that live in their vehicles and kind of skirt the system and don't pay rent at all. But for me specifically, I choose to live this lifestyle so I don't have to pay the astronomical rent prices in some beautiful places like Jackson, Wyoming. That's where I'm living right now. And I get to live in this cool place while actually saving money along the way. Now I know what you're thinking, yeah, it's a rich ski town, but I accomplish this by showering at the rec center like I'm doing right now, and just finding spots to park that I don't have to pay every single night, and use the locals' accommodations, shop at Smith's, and live as cheaply as possible. Since I've been doing this, I've managed to save up a bit of money and be able to drop everything and travel to Costa Rica for 11 days. And ultimately, that's the main goal, is to be able to save up and save up and travel a little bit more. I'm gonna make some breakfast and some coffee and we'll talk a little bit about it. Have any syrup, maple syrup, but I do have cinnamon. I need to run to the store, but I can't run to the store because I'm broke. This is just gonna have to do for now. I'm sure it's still gonna be good. I mean, how can you go wrong with some bread, eggs, and cinnamon? It tastes exactly how you would think it would. I inhaled the cinnamon. Takes me back to 3 years ago. Not bad, not bad. Without the added sugar. There's a lot of positives. There's also a lot of negatives to this lifestyle. But I mean, for me, just paying for rent in a place that where I want to live, not where I have to live. I don't have to live in such an expensive location. But I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to stay in one place for a little bit, just to save up and work and save up as much as possible, pretty much. I want to do it in a pretty place and not pay the pretty place prices, because I think the average rent price here in Jackson is like $3,000 a month, and if I pay that, I'm not going to be saving up much money. I'm going to pretty much work 3 weeks out of the month just to be able to pay rent, and I'm not gonna do that. All I really need is a safe place to park and groceries that are like really cheap from Smith's in town, and a good shower every 2 to 3 days. And I do that at a rec center. It cost me, I think, $51 a month. Yeah, it's a little pricey, but they have a climbing gym and a normal gym and a pool and a sauna. Maybe not a sauna, but they have a hot tub, and it's pretty cool. So I don't need a lot, and I don't need the normal amenities that you would get in an apartment or house. I just need somewhere to sleep, this is my bedroom, this is my bed, this is where I sleep, this is where I cook. I've got a 2-burner stove, a sink. It's just so many reasons why I don't pay rent and why I prefer this lifestyle right here. It's so much easier. I have my own bubble. This is my own personal space. It's where I live. It's where I like to be. And after being in Costa Rica for 11 days with three other people, I don't know, we were getting into each other's personal space, and it's just not something that I'm used to. I haven't lived with someone in quite some time, and I like being alone. Now, I've got to say, being alone or combating loneliness is a big part of van life, or living in your car, or just being a nomadic individual. Because when I first started this whole van life thing a couple years ago, I wasn't in this van. I was in a different van. It was a Ford Econoline. I never felt more alone in my life. And that first year of van life, it was just learning how to go on adventures on my own, going to the movie theater, going on hikes, doing everything that I like to do. And then I realized I don't have to answer to anyone or ask anyone. I get to go do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it. Now, it's not easy, but it's totally worth it. And I don't know, it's just the little things, all those little things, like being alone, and I mean, also combating the weather. It could either be extremely hot or extremely cold. I think right now it's 1 degree. 1 degree. I woke up and it was like -10, but I'm okay with that. I got my heater running all day long and it's totally fine. I had to empty out my water tank because I didn't want it to be just one big block of ice. So yeah, I don't have running water, but I do have a 2-burner stove that I used to cook. Like I said, it's no big deal. And I have at least 1 full gallon of water at all times. It's just another reason why I don't feel the need to pay $3,000 in rent. It's crazy. $3,000 that goes to rent, goes in my pocket every single month. And that's not to mention like the cost for snow plowing or doing like, I don't know, water and gas and electricity. I'm self-contained in here. I've got a battery. I usually have water, but it's, like I said, it's drained because cold and ice is really hard to thaw out when it's in the negative temperatures every single night. Totally fine though. Those little things I'm able to live without, you know, like water, running water, no big deal. It's not everyone has running water. A lot of people live in their car or Subaru or something and they don't have running water. That's something I can live without. Little sacrifices, big sacrifices are just, you know, part of the game. Also other things like visiting friends or family, those become a little bit harder because your family isn't going to want to fly over or drive over just to visit you for the weekend if you don't have a spare bedroom for them to stay in. Trust me, I know. So they have to go out of their way and book a hotel room, and then you got to like work into your schedule. I don't know. That's one of the negatives, but hey, it's not a very negative. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. It's short, to the point. This is why I live in my van. So I could, you know, do as much as I can possibly do in such a short period of time. I don't know. I'm just trying to live my life out here, travel as much as possible, and just work to save up that money. I've been working crazy hours since I've been back from Costa Rica, so I could save up some more money. I spent a lot of money in Costa Rica, mostly because on the way back, I usually fly standby on like standby tickets, non-revenue tickets, and it's cheap and it's easy, but I couldn't get on the flight because it was oversold last minute. I had to buy a ticket and it really, really hurt. But now I just got done with the 60-hour work week and I'm exhausted. So tomorrow and the next day, I have 3 days off. 3 days starting, well, tonight, I guess. But yeah, tomorrow and the next day I have off and I'm so excited. I'm gonna sleep and I'm gonna work on the van a little bit because it's needing some work. I'll see you guys next time.